Hey, hi everyone. This is Sai from Let's Upgrade. So let's talk about how to get your certificate. It's very simple. You will see two links in the description. Number one is the place where you have to go and mark your attendance. Marking your attendance tells us like, okay, you are a legit student who have attended this particular session. Link number two is your assignment. This is where your 90% of the priority is. You have to go and submit the assignment that is given to you in this particular session. Once you're done submitting that assignment, we will be evaluating that. We will send you an email. If you get the passing criteria, then only we will give you the certificate on a particular date that is mentioned again in the description. Please check these three things, and this is the way how you will get a certificate from Let's Upgrade. Number one, mark your attendance. Number two, just go ahead and upload your assignment. Check for the email that you have received it, yes or no. What is the feedback that you have received from your trainer? Number three, check on which date the certificates will be released. Thank you. Bye. All the best. Happy learning.
Hello everyone. My name is Shivansh Pandey, and today we are here on a very beautiful boot camp, which is data science with Python. It's bring up by Let's Upgrade. So many thanks to Let's Upgrade. So I think so you have all joined here to learn that data science with Python. But have you ever wondered why only Python? Why not R or different languages like JavaScript, Java, or even Rust? So today we will be getting whole picture. What is data science, how it works, what are the specialities, and what we can do with the data science. Data science is very vast field. It's not about a single topic, learning a single language, or whether learning a single subject. It's a whole and soul tree, which come under which it comes machine learning, AI, it comes data engineering, database management system. This all comes under data science. So we will just start our journey into the data science field and let's look upon what we get. So I welcome you all to the day one of our this boot camp. And today we are starting our journey with the world of data science and Python. By the end of the season, by the end of the season, you will clearly understand what is data science and what is Python, why it is like ranked number one language in the world, and how to use Google Colab. Basically, when you are doing any machine learning work or running any program, you will be using your local either or a cloud. So here today in this bootcamp, we will be using a cloud environment, and I will let you know how to basically set up an environment and all this thing using a single PC, a single Google Colab. You don't have to worry about any data sets, how we will be doing all this engineering work, or how we will be making models, different types of uh, feature engineering works, what are the accuracy, what is F1 score, how to evaluate a model. This all we will study in this. So let's start and have a very great session and journey with us now. Uh, now, let the journey begin. So in this session, or basically a first day, I will be teaching you how to work with data, how to s- work with slicing, what are the basic fundamentals, hands-on activities, how to inspect data, how to explore data, what are exploratory data analytics. These all things are jargons right now, but when we go further, when we move on, when we start learning things, it is basically an easy part, and it is a day-to-day activity of a data scientist. We will be inspecting housing data, California housing data. We will be using Mentis data and different type of data. See, data sets are different. There are different type of data types. There are different types of data to work with ML, but the procedure, the methodology will always be the same of working with particular data set. When we talk about any images, there is a technique of working with pixels. When we talk about any unstructured data, just like voice, there is a technique. When we start talk about a structured data, just like any finance data or any type of records, it's structured. So there is a methodology. Tackle it, to clean it, to slice it, to inspect what data tells you. Before applying any machine learning model, we always think about EDA, exploratory data analytics, what I can get from data. First, understand the data, then start doing the things, then start doing applying methodologies to basically bring the best out of it. Now, in this session, we will go step by step and with slow plays phase. Yeah. So in this session, we will go step by step, slow paced. So you will get the whole clear picture, how to deal with data and move forward with it, and what to do next. What are the different methodologies to apply? So let's start the day. Now, let's tackle a very foremost and forward question. What is data science? So data science is nothing but a mean to solve a real world problem using data, because everything be- everything we do here, while we chatting, while we scroll reels, while we watch videos, or we go to a shopping website, try to do anything, it generates data. And when it generates data, there is something to take out of it. Because in this world, data is fuel. Data is real fuel. That's it. Now, so data science means using data how to solve a real world problem. What methods, models we can use, what pattern finding we can use. See, models are nothing but a mathematical model. They are developed to find a pattern. Because see, in our brain, when what does our brain do? It analyzes the data. It takes, first of all, it takes the data. It first of all classifies it. What is noise? What is the real information, and how to take knowledge out of it. The same way these machine learning models, these neural network models work. There is nothing rocket science in it. You don't have to develop that particular model. You just have to apply that model to solve a real world problem, just like it. And you will be a machine learning engineer. And if you are doing something related to data, you will be a data engineer. If you are a whole and soul person, you are a person who understand how to clean data, how to work with data, you understand how to work with model, how to increase its accuracy, its basically feedback. You are a data scientist. Welcome to the world of data scientists. There's nothing wrong about it. Now, let's think of it this way. We will go through a series of use cases and you will understand what I am talking about. So, suppose you are on a Netflix website, you are watching some series. Next day, when you come and open an app, it will suggest similar kind of series for you. What is that? It is an application of data science. It is generating a model. A model is there who is recommending you what should you watch. Simple. Just take an example of Amazon. When you go and buy something, you generate data by going there, by browsing the different products, by buying a product, and it uses it. And after that, it starts suggesting you what kind of product you have bought. Based on it, it starts suggesting you. Now let's take about Uber pricing. It basically by seeing the demand, supply, and a route, it suggests a pricing for you. Swiggy, Zomato, what does they do? The backend data science are sitting just like you guys, and they are doing their thing. They are predicting something. They are predicting the price, they're predicting the minimum route time, so your order can reach in 15, 10, or even in 5 minutes, just like Blanket. Let's take about example of bank. Bank, what does they do? When you start transacting, when you start doing transaction in it, they keep record of it. And in backend, when anything is suspicious, they just target you and catch you. These are the basic examples or use cases of data scientists. But the whole part is you have to understand data, you have to understand model, and foremost and very important thing, you have to solve a real world problem. That's it. Nothing more than that. And congratulations, you became a data scientist. That's it. Now, when you call you yourself a data scientist, one should know what is the workflow of data scientist, what work a data scientist do into their day-to-day basis, or what we can say a project basis. So there is a simple workflow of each data scientist. First, collecting a data, like which is oil for you, because without that you are nothing. So first, you will collect the data from a source or IoT sensors or a website or web scraping. These are the sources for you to collect data. Next step is cleaning data. Whatever you have collected, it should be cleaned properly. The data might contain the null values, or data might be incomplete, data might be uh, corroded, or what we can say nowadays there is a corrosion LLMs, corroded LLMs. Data might be a very vague type of data. So you have to understand the data, what you are collecting, and in next step is cleaning it. Basically, clean the data, structurize it to use in further steps. The further step is analyze. You collected a data, you cleaned that data. Next is analysis. You have to analyze the data. It is also called EDA. Basically, the cleaning and collecting process is called ETL, explore, transform, load. That's it. And next is analyze, EDA, exploratory data analytics. That's it. After that, there is another step that you can add basically is visualizing. You have to visualize that particular data, whatever you have analyzed, whatever you have taken out the insights, it should be analyzed and explained. Your communication skills should be like proper. The next step is very important. We have to visualize that data. Next, when we talk about what is the next in the workflow, it is basically building the models, the thing that you all are waiting for, building a basically machine learning model to predict something or might be to rectify something. There are delusion models which takes good data from a noisy, which understands pattern from a noisy data. So there are many use cases, there are many models, but these methodologies are always same. And final, you have to basically deploy that data or the model that you have generated. You have to deploy it to a certain web app or mobile application so that user can use it. Then only you will get to know the real world scenario. See, when you make a model, you do your process of finding accuracy, F1 score, and there are many matrices that you follow, and you basically validate your model that yeah, it is very correct, and I'm pretty sure that my model is very good. So when it goes to real world scenario in the deployment environment, the production environment, so that's real experiment begins. The real results will come. See, because when you are suppose take when we talk about a case study, you are a data scientist in a Amazon or a FANG company, and you have developed a model to basically recommend a movie or best price for a particular customer for a product. If your model is not that much pretty good or accurate, your direct let's take an example. Like, suppose you are a data scientist in a FANG company. Let's take a Netflix or Amazon, and you have given a task to develop a model which will recommend the next best movie, which is directly proportional to your profit, your revenue. If a person doesn't see a movie or doesn't buy a product, Amazon will get loss or Netflix will be in loss. So your work is directly corresponding the revenue. So see how important you are for the company and for the user base. So you have to be very careful when you start deploying your model or when you start building your model. Validate it, check its accuracy, check on different data, test data sets, or whatever there is a by doing hyperparameter tuning, or there are different methods that you can use to basically validate your model and then go to the deployment. Yeah, but don't take tension. We will be looking at this all whole process step by step, and while we go through our in our boot camp. So I request you all to be seated and have a great session ahead out there. Now let's just begin. So I will just tell you guys that we will start with the environment setup and we will proceed further. So now I request everyone to please go and search Google Colab in the basically on Google on the tab you will search when you search Colab it will prompt you all this thing. And after that, after coming to a particular thing, you just have to click this, the first link. Google Colab, what is Google Colab, how it works. I will tell you all this thing. I will explain you the environment, how to set up your environment. And remember, we are doing this on cloud because local machines are not that much capable and it is not worth to take that much of level of machines. And it is not possible also to take that level of machines because when you work with data sets of higher capacity, then you need a bigger machine, a bigger processing power, GPUs, to run your basically models. So we will start with Google Colab, and I will, if time permits, I will teach you how to set up this in local. But trust me, you will never ever use this or do this kind of tasks locally because your local machine can't afford this thing. Open first of all, just make a new notebook. I will explain what is I will also explain you the what is notebooks and how it works. So first let it just read. Yes, it just now loaded. We will just tell this data science with with python python bootcamp. Okay. Yes, you can basically edit. This is the file name that you will be working with, and IPYNB is nothing but the notebook extension, just like .py, which is Python's .java, which is Java extension of Java. .js, JavaScript is extensions, just like this or that. The IPYNB is the extension of notebooks. So let's talk about notebooks. What are they, and what it should value add to us, or how why we should use the notebooks. So notebooks are, as the name suggests, it is a notebook. You can basically write anything. You can add text, or like first day or day one. This is, see, it is done. It is done. Basically, what you have done just now, you created a text cell. In notebooks, we work with cells because from after every instruction, see, when you write a program, you write each and every instructions line by line or continuous fashion, and you have to run that particular file to execute that instructions automatically and in one go. But when you work with data, you have to first explore that data. You have to first take some valuable information out of it. You have to see how data looks. So you need something to break that instruction. You have to give instruction one by one. You cannot give in a one go or write a script and take do a EDA process or data engineering process. So what they do, what they basically innovate is they build a notebook which can be used either to keep records or to basically do experimentation, because you are a data scientist. You have to do experimentation. You have to make different models and evaluate it, see, validate it, see what how your model performs in this data set. Might be the cases that out there are many models which will outperform your model because it you haven't experimented it. So as a data scientist, you have to experiment n number of models to get best out of it. So for that purpose, notebooks are, trust me, very best, very best for that. Although for ETL process or the job process, when we go to Spark and different technologies, there are scripts, there are jobs that has to be written continuous fashion, but it follows a structure. But for you guys, you have to do many exploration things, so it is the best place to work with. Now, there is a concept that why we are using Google Colab only. Why can't we use a local machine? So Google Colabs gives all this thing like your GPU, it takes care of GPUs, it gives you free environment, it gives you free storage. You can see here there is a button called connect. What it is doing in the back end is it is connecting you to its server. You are connecting to Google server. See how fast it is. And you will see here the RAM, the disk. You have 107 GB disk, 12 GB of RAM. Might be possible some of you don't have this much capability in your local machine. That's why we are using Google Colab. So the simple thing is Google Colab gives this all free. There is some restrictions, but for you guys, for now, we can work with this restrictions and we can get out of get off the lines also. It is beginner friendly. It comes with many data sets. There are many sample data sets that Google has already provided you to basically start your journey or do wonders with it. Although the data sets are cleaned and data sets doesn't have any anomalies or incomplete data, but they are good. They are good working with. There's California housing test, Mintis data. There are different type of data. Even you can also upload that up, but data sets in this and basically connect to your drive also. These kind of tasks or simplicity this Google Colab gives you. We will use California housing data set today for our first day, or I think so second also, because it is more than enough for you to understand how to work with data. If see at the starting beginning of this session, I told you there is a specified methodology to work with all this data. If you understand that methodologies, you can easily explore any type of data sets. It's up to you how you have to do that and what problems you are working with and what models you are going to implement. These all things depends on the data scientist. So data scientists should know and understand what is data and how it has been processed. These whatever terminologies I'm using right now, it might be jargons for you, but trust me, when you are at the level 3 or day 3, you will understand everything. So let's get started with the very first or foremost basic part of our data science journey is learning Python. We will understand fundamental of Python, or might be you guys already have uh, understanding about Python, but we will just have a quick view of it. What is Python? What are the variables? What are the data types? And what are the how to declare a basically a function and how to work with it. Because when we go to next level, which is live using actual libraries like Numpy, Panda, Matplotlib, you don't have that space to learn Python. So we'll start with the fundamental of Python and then we will move and increase that difficulty level. Yeah. In this, I will be covering variables, data types, list, dictionaries, slicing, basically list slicing and different types of it, how you can basically slice a list, or in the same way, this same technique can be used to slice a data frame. Now, what is data frame? You will understand that. Just wait and watch. What is loops? What are functions? All these things we will cover today in this fundamental Python section. Now, here at the left side, you have your control panel, your secret keys. Just like if you are using any APIs, you can keep it here. You have this code snippets. You have this find and replace option. and the file. I think so you will be using this very much or very frequent, but you have to understand all this thing. Now, next, when we go or when we explore this particular environment, at the top you have file, edit, view, insert, runtime. Now, tools and help. Now, runtime is the very important thing that you have to look upon because there are many things like change runtime type. This is the place. This is the place that you were all looking forward or you should look forward to because just now, currently, I'm using Python 3 third version. There is R, Julia also. But as I said, Python is very famous, so we'll be using Python throughout the course. But you can go and explore all these things. And there are T, T4 GPUs, V5 TPUs. Now, if you know TPUs, what is TPUs, you can write in comment section and I can guarantee you that if you know TPUs, then you should move forward with this particular data science part. Next, there's runtime version, on which version you should run your runtime, so you can keep it default. But these tools are like given as a gift from Google, but they are it contains GPU and this contains TPU. Now, I will not change that. And yes, so in this, you have play button like play. You have to run that particular cell or running a Python script. It's just like running a Python script. Here, one means it is run first. Now, next, when we start doing this, it is first, second, third. So it's a countdown. It's just increasing. There's nothing like that. Now, there's a thing called code and text. Code means writing code, a cell where you can write codes in Python or R, whatever language you have selected. Next is text. Text field is nothing but a normal text that a note should or notepad has, basically to like keeping track of what you are doing and what results you are trying to find out. So these are the basic thing. And run all or these commands you can go and explore by yourself. Run all means running all the cells, whatever number of cells you are having in a notebook. Now, let's move forward with very first thing, which is variable in Python. I will just start variable. Now, when you click Shift plus Enter, it automatically runs that cell. And see, it tells two, which means it is the second session or second script that has been run here. Now, I will just create a variable fast name. I'll put Joe. I'll create another name as the variable. I'll put 28. Create another. I'll put 29 point something. Uh, there are different data types. Yeah. So I will just have this Boolean data type. That's it. Now, when I hit Shift Enter, it runs the particular cell and see the number count is exceeded, which means it is the third time that this cell has been run to keep track of all your things. Now, I think so everyone knows about what is this data type. This is the string data type that you will be working with. This is the string, sorry, int. This is the float 29.3 and this is Boolean. So these three are very standard data types or primitive data types you can tell, which every programming language has. But the thing is, see, you don't have to explicitly or statically tell Python that it is string or anything else. Although you can do that, but it is not recommended, or you don't have to do that because Python is giving you this feature. So why you have to do more work? So this is why Python is called dynamically typed language, because everything you do, it dynamically adjusts its variable data type to whatever you have written in front of it. Now there are different data types also. I will just tell mm, 44 and 50. So this is a data type, and mm, student will just create a name, John. Next, oh, John. Uh, Next one I should write as mm, marks, which is again I have to write in this format. Yeah. So this is the user-defined data types, or what we can say list and dictionary. It is nothing but an array. List is an array, and this is an dictionary. In JavaScript or in Java also, you have studied this all thing, like ja what is array, what is dictionary. In the same way, in Python, it is called list, and you can perform list slicing in this, and you can also perform dictionary operations, basically taking out of key and value. It stores in a key and value pair, and it stores in a pair way. So now you know what is list, what is this dictionary, how to declare variables, what are the data types, and how we can play around with them. And there are many different data types that you can make. Basically, there are primitive, non-primitive data types, but these all are the Python basics that we need to cover. So this is the declaration part. Let's think about how do we access the elements? How do we access element from list or from a dictionary? There are many other non-primitive data types which we can see in further, because it's like tuple, set. These are the other parts of same non-primitive data types. But now we will just see uh, how we can access this list. Yes. See, it depends on, it's like an array. It's like an array only, just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting index, indexing is starting from 0 to infinity. And there is one more thing that you can do is basically this. You can access from behind also. Like a number, in a number line, you got 0 to infinity, and left side you got 0 to minus infinity. So when you start with -1, it will give you the last item. You can use this in many logics, like reversing an array or accessing the very last element of an array. It gives you last element simply by indexing. And there is one more concept which is slicing. I will just take you through it. See, what does it do? It starts from one indexing, and it ends at three, like 0, 1, 2, and this one 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, and 3. It just give this these two elements. Why? Because it always has -1 at its last. You have written 3, it will give you before element of particular index. In the same way, you can access student dot. There are many functions, already pre-built functions that you can use to access a dictionary. Is basically Let's get a marks. Let's see. Yeah, 20. Thus, in the same way, you can get name. There are different values. You can go and explore all these items like pop, keys. You will get a key, the value update if you want to update anything in the list. And there is one more property that a list has. It's an mutable list. Basically, you can change this list or you can add anything in it based on based on your requirement or based on your whatever you want to do with the list. But when we talk about tuple, it is immutable. It's immutable means you cannot add or delete from it. Like, I will show you one. It's t. You can access this. You can access the elements. Now if you want to change the element, suppose at first index I want to put uh, 30. It don't let you. Double object does not support assessment. Means it is immutable. You cannot mutate the tuples. In the same way, you can go and explore. There are many different logics that you can make in Python, and as Python is very beautiful and it is very easy to use, you can make anything. You can just make an animation app, or you can basically make anything out of Python. There are many community support. There are many libraries that community has for particulars to solving particular tasks. Now I will just let you know about what is loops. In Python, loops are, believe me, very simple. There is just like this. See here, just when we talk about in Java or C++, you will have to write for I equals. You have to write, basically define on a variable, then give it a condition, and then give it an increment operator. But here you only have to, like, basically declare an I in the range. Here you can have anything. In fact, you can you can have this marks also. Mm, let's just try this. It will iterate and it will give it all the elements from the list. Basically, it's an iteratable. You just make sure that it is an iteratable object, just like list, tuple, or any range of elements, and it will just iterate from it. So this is the loop, basic idea of loop. Let's talk about, quickly take um, the functions. Um, Functions is also a very easy topic, in especially in Python. You have to declare the you have to declare it. Mm, as b, you have declared your first function. Then after that, you will just have to print this, because, yeah, see, you just have to print this function. It will do your work. Why do we use function? I think you all of you knows that, because it's an utility. You can make utility functions. You can do a task which has been written in different code. In fact, when we will be using different libraries like pandas, numpy, we will use function out of that. It is declared in classes, and the classes contain functions and properties, basically methods. So we'll be using that. So function we use to reduce our workload, to basically short down or cut short our program or software, so that it can run fast and easy way. Yeah. Now we have covered all of our Python fundamental topics, whatever it is, like list, tuple, dictionary, functions. even loops. There are if statements that you can use, but this is the basic of data science. You will need to understand this all thing, and you have to be a knowledge of all this thing, because it's gonna use in pandas. And next, when I say pandas, I will just hmm, yeah. So in data science, there are three core libraries: NumPy, there is pandas, there is matplotlib. These three libraries are very basic and very important. Like uh, in every data science that you develop from now onwards, you will have to include this libraries, because what NumPy does is basically a numerical computation library. It's You can generate random numbers, random data. You can also work with matrix. If you want to work with matrix, you will have to know the NumPy. If in future, if you learn like tensors, what are tensors? So tensor is multidimensional matrices, that's it. So you will have to have a knowledge of NumPy. For pandas we use for basically accessing data, manipulating data, access a particular column, row, or to manage the data analysis part, like EDA part, because without pandas, you cannot do that. There are many alternate libraries that you can use, but pandas are very basic in it. Pandas are literally very basic in it. Now, there is another library is matplotlib. There is another library which can be you can take it as a alternate, which is Seaborn, but matplotlib is like very basic and you can use it anywhere you want. And like in the beauty of this environment, like cloud environment, we don't have to download this whole thing, because when you go in your local machine, you have to like write pip install all this thing. But because this is the global environment, cloud environment, Google has already written all this thing for you. All they have in their environment, their servers, all these libraries for you. You just have to import them and work with it. Simple as that. There's nothing rocket science, and the basic part is matplotlib used for visualization.